Hello and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Shelley Beyer, and today I'm sharing part 4 of my personal story, one that's all about support, boundaries, and rest. Because as much as this journey is about what happens to your body, it's also about what happens around you and inside you as you recover. Let's start with support. The hardest part for me, hands down, was asking for help with my horse. Her name is Sophie, and she is my heart. She means so much to me, and the thought of being away from her for 6 weeks, it really broke me a little. I knew she wouldn't understand why I wasn't there. So I tried to pop in and see her as much as I could, just so she knew I hadn't disappeared. But I had to find daily care for her, and that was a huge ask. Thankfully, I have good friends who love her just as much as I do, so the two of them rotated mornings 3 and 4 days a week, and the landowner took care of the evenings. They were all incredible. They were reliable, loving, and generous. But it was still hard for me to ask. And I made sure to compensate them when it was all over, not because they expected it, but because I wanted them to know just how much I appreciated them. It was important to me that they felt seen and valued for what they had given during those 6 weeks. And at home, my biggest support was my husband. He did everything. He cooked, he did laundry, he took care of the cat litter, helped me with my drains, kept track of my medications, helped me get dressed. Oh my gosh, he was a rock star. And there's absolutely no way I could have done it without him. But it was hard for me to ask for help. I am so used to doing everything myself. But he showed up fully. And even when he had to go back to work after the first 3 days, he still did everything he could to keep things running smoothly. And then my sister came up to help too. She drove an hour and a half just to take me to a doctor's appointment on day 4 when I needed my drains removed. And she stayed the night, kept me company, and made me feel so cared for. I had support, and I am so, so grateful. But receiving that support, that was a learning process in itself. This experience taught me something I hadn't fully realized. I'm worth it. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need. And it's okay to say, I can't do that right now. I've always been someone who gives a lot. Helping others brings me joy, and this experience taught me something beautiful, that letting others help me gave them that same joy. So I reframed it. Instead of seeing it as a burden, I started to see it as a gift to them and to me. But learning to receive support also helped me notice the moments when I needed to speak up, to listen to my limits and honor them. When I started doing my barn chores again, there were things I could do and things I just couldn't. And I had to use my voice to say, I can do this, but I can't do that. If someone tried to push me past my limits, I had to stand my ground. Because pushing too soon meant more swelling, more soreness, and a longer recovery. For the first time in a long time, I realized that putting my needs first wasn't selfish. It was smart, it was necessary, and it was a form of self-worth. Now let's talk about rest. I've always been a doer. I like being productive. I like checking things off of the list. But recovery taught me something really important. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. Downtime is healing, and it's not just for the body, it's for the soul. When you go, go, go all the time, you stop noticing the little things. But when you're forced to slow down, you see life differently. You start to appreciate the small stuff. Things you couldn't do yesterday but can today. Things you used to take for granted. And those little wins, they only come if you rest. If you don't, you'll set yourself back. Your body will push back with pain, with swelling, and fatigue. But if you listen, if you honor the pace of healing, everything shifts. Rest becomes a tool, not a time out, but a tool. And now I carry that lesson with me every day. So if you're recovering or preparing for it, know this: you're allowed to ask, you're allowed to say no, you're allowed to rest. And none of that makes you weak. It makes you wise, it makes you brave, and it makes you whole. If you're preparing for surgery or already in the thick of recovery and you want to support your body with real nourishing food, I'd love to invite you to download my free guide. It's Fueling Your Body for Surgery, and it introduces you to keto and carnivore in a simple, approachable way with a focus on reducing inflammation and giving your body exactly what it needs to heal. And when you sign up, you'll get a supportive video in your inbox every day for 15 days. One step, one message, one moment at a time. You can start now at backwardshealth.com. Thank you so much for listening to part 4 of my story. I'll see you tomorrow for one more spark to close out the week. But until then, be gentle with your heart and kind to your body. And remember, boundaries are not barriers, they're bridges to the life you actually want.